AFL Today's round 20 preview is here. Huge rivalry round ahead, lads. What do we talk about?
Look, I might be a Hawks fan, but I really hope Sam Docherty plays well on Thursday night.
And speaking of rivalry round, let us know in the comments, what is the biggest rivalry in the game? Is it me and Leo? Is it the Showdown? Is it the Derby? Who knows?
The Derby. Check out AFL Today right now. Welcome back to the AFL Today Show, brought to you by Stockhead, here for all things round 20. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. Got to get to the guys on the couch, Liam Mullaly, Marcus Bazzano. How are we, lads?
Going good. Actually, I feel extra Italian today. I've got the Carlton scarf next to me, and I've got a fellow Italian who's always next to me.
Absolutely.
But I'm not sure about this Hawthorn scarf next to me. Hawthorn sandwich. I feel awkward and claustrophobic. I'm like sitting next to two plus-size people on an airplane.
That is.
Why did you say plus size?
Yeah, that's a bit harsh. I'll just get into the show, lads. Another awesome show as we delve into the matchups, tips, stats, debates, locks, and big calls, as well as everything in between. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to hit the notifications bell as well on there. Follow AFL Today across X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. On Facebook, of course, it is Aussie Rules Today. We've got the chuckleheads over here. You guys all good for the show?
Yeah, we're ready.
Can we get right into it?
Footy's back.
Footy is back. Round 20 previews. Thursday night footy is Hawthorn versus Carlton, 7:30 at the MCG. Marcus.
There's nothing awkward about this one. There's a lot of mini storylines around this game as well, but the big one is Sam Docherty, the announcement of his retiring. It'll be his final AFL game, 180th game. So that was across two clubs, 13 for the Lions and the rest for the Blues. We'll read out a couple of accolades because he's been a star player. He's been a legend. Won Carlton BNF, I believe it was 2016, All-Australian 2017, Carlton co-captain for a few years, Jim Stein's Community Award, Leadership Award winner.
Yep.
And came back from testicular cancer twice as well. And he's just a player that you can't hate. You know those players in the competition, players in sport that...
There's something wrong with it if you're hating him. He's a legend.
Yeah, you can't hate. So hopefully he goes well on the weekend, and maybe that might lead into a big call or two from one of you two boys around the couch. So stick around for that.
Not me.
Maybe put in your favourite Sam Docherty moment in the comments below as
There's
well.
been a few good ones. Yeah, I'll give you that.
There has been a few good ones. But we'll get into the match preview. It was a confidence-boosting win for the Blues last time out against the Demons. Plus, now it's a game of emotion. They want to send Docherty off the right way, the Carlton teammates and the Carlton faithful. Could this equal a possible upset?
Oh, I don't think there's any chance they win this one. What do you reckon?
They could live for the occasion.
Thursday night under the lights?
Yeah, club stalwarts retiring and legend of your club's retiring. You got to live for that.
Yeah, all those Thursday games that they've lifted for this season. Well, I reckon they've had some really bad Thursday night games.
A little bit of off-field pressure as well surrounding Charlie Curnow, who has been rumoured to go to a few different clubs, including Gold Coast, Sydney and Geelong.
I wonder if his teammates are talking to him about that. That'd be interesting.
Throw in Hawthorn, why not?
No.
Throw in everyone. Anyways, but you've got to look towards the likes of the inexperience that stepped up against the Demons, like Ashton Moyer, Matt Carroll. Obviously, he had 10 intercept possessions from 11 disposals last week against the Demons. Could he possibly go to the informed Dylan Moore, who finished with, 31 and 2 goals last week?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think what Moore would have over Carroll is his work rate to get up the ground and then beat him back to goal. I think it is a matchup that Carlton should consider, but I kind of like Carroll maybe playing a bit deeper, being able to get those intercept possessions a little bit deeper rather than up the ground and, work yourself to the ground trying to cover someone like Dylan Moore. But we'll see how it plays out.
See how it goes. And it will be interesting to see who goes to this man who returns for the Hawks.
Yep.
Will Day.
Oh, the prodigal son, Leo.
I'm unsure. Look, it's great to see him back, but I'm unsure whether you bring him back into this game after such a...
Well, they already did.
I know they have, but I would have saved him for Adelaide. Big games coming up.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. Adelaide's a much bigger game. You're going to beat Carlton, I think, either way. And Will Day, you need to just preserve him for the finals. He's such a star and you desperately need him. You're a Hawks man, Leo.
If he's fit, you play him. Every game you got to win. Can't take any game lightly. He's one of your best players. So.
All right, fair enough.
And we'll talk about some more squad decisions or stuff that needs to be made for the Hawthorn.
Yep.
And it's about the tall forwards because obviously you got Kel Shadir and Mitch Lewis coming off that 5-day break in tough conditions against Port Adelaide, and obviously they've had their injury concerns in the past. Do you keep them in the side? What do you do with those tall forwards?
I'm going to be honest, I got no clue. I absolutely have no idea. And I know we're like
problem to have.
Well, like Chol's a test to come back. So if Chol isn't playing, then you keep the same three. But if Chol does come back, Does Gunston get a rest off a 5-day break with his old body too? But at the same time, Gunston plays so well on Wiedering in recent meetings where he can kind of keep Wiedering quiet and then have an impact himself. Good luck, Sam Mitchell. And I know you've thrown at me to give the answer. I don't have the answer.
As a fan, what's your personal preference?
I don't know, I've thought about
You're
it.
a radical.
I've literally thought about this most of the week, being like, oh, we could do this, we could do that, could do this. Could bring in Reeves.
No,
I didn't think that for a second. But I genuinely don't know.
Well, considering the Blues play a very contested style of game, it'd be very body on body.
Yep.
Could see that might be a bit rough for some of those sort of injury-prone players after such a taxing game against Port in UTAS.
Definitely.
But it's kind of who gets the game on their terms in this one. Is it the Blues with their contested game style, or will it be the Hawks with their flair and their fitness sort of game?
I think the Hawks can show that they can get the ball inside and out, whereas Carlton are very inside and the kicking we've talked about has just been atrocious, like passing and things like that. Whereas so the Hawks are a bit cleaner. I think they can dominate this one.
Tipping them?
Oh, I'm going to tip them. I'm definitely going to tip the Hawks. I'm going to go by 30 points. Let us know in the comments who you think the Hawks should bring in or if they should make any changes because Lero's a bit torn. So maybe just help him out.
Mate, I feel like Natalie and Brulia.
What?
I'm torn.
Oh, that's a
Didn't you
niche
sing
reference. That is a niche reference.
Make sure you get your vote. I know the votes have closed for the Triple J Hottest 100.
Yes.
Hawks by 17. Both teams off a 5-day break, as you mentioned, Marcus. But Hawthorn, in those really tough conditions, I think it'll stay close.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go similar margin, 20.
You guys are going pretty close there. That's interesting. All right, let's get into Friday. Essendon versus the Western Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium, Friday night at 7:20. Now, Leo, this is another interesting one, and we're going to break it down.
Interesting is a word. I don't know if we'd use it to describe this one. Look, the Dogs have won each of their last 12 away matches at Marvel. That's an interesting stat for you. And 10 of the last 12 against the Bombers.
Whoa.
So to put it simply, they have the form.
Yes.
Plus, they'll be buoyed by the fact that their glorious king, their handsome leader, Marcus Bontempelli, re-signed until 2029. We actually checked out his cafe in Kew, Arthur's Milk Bar.
It was in Far Q, wasn't it?
Near Kew or Far Kew. We weren't too sure.
Middle
Let
Kew,
us know in
Middle
the comments about that one. But yeah, Marcus and Stats Guy, you had a bit of a vibe check, which we'll show on the screen now.
Bond's re-signed, so we can come to his cafe, Arthur's Milk Bar, all things Bond. Here we go.
Loved it, enjoyed the experience, so check out our side quest on the socials.
So yeah, if you want the full video of that, that's out on our socials now at AFL Today AU. Now, last time these sides played, the Dogs, they were 91-point winners, 16 plus in contested possession, 8 plus in clearance, all at 80% disposal efficiency. The Bombers were embarrassed. And a part of that Dogs demolition, Bailey Dale. 49, he was so close to raising the bat.
Raising the bat, that would have been awesome.
Can he get the half century this time round? And surely Brad Scott actually put some bloody effort into him.
Absolutely not. We don't tag.
Well, so he can get the half century?
He could get
He
it.
could get
but
60
he
this
could,
time.
but we're not going to. I doubt might put a tiny bit of attention to him, but I don't think we're going to, put someone on him for
hard
the
tag.
entire
His last 15 touches as well, they were just handballing it to him.
All 1-2s.
Like all 1-2s and stuff. So it wasn't
They're
that
finding
damaging.
him.
There's a lot more damaging players at the Dogs than Bailey Dale.
And now the last bit on the Dogs we'll get to the Bombers, but I just want to touch on their back line because I've talked about them the last couple of weeks. So against North, concede 5 to Larkey. Against the Crom, concede 11 of 16 goals to their key forwards. Then they bring in Liam Jones, which they had to do. And then it goes the other way. They concede 11 of 12 goals to Brisbane to the small forwards. So the mix still isn't quite there. And I think for the Bombers, they get Caddy back, which is great. But I really want their smalls to get involved here.
100%. And in recent weeks, I've put the reverse Moz on Alex Neil-Bullen, and he went and had a cracking game. Zach Bailey, similarly, and Paddy Cripps, someone that I do want to touch on in that Adelaide midfield depth, who hasn't been so crash hot in the past month, has been Alex Neil-Bullen. But another one who historically struggles against Collingwood and needs to lift is the skipper.
Yep.
Patrick Cripps. Like you look at people to stand up in that Carlton team when people aren't standing up. It's your captain, it's your dual Brownlow medalist, it's your leader. So we just need him to bring back the Blues are back, baby. I've not been sold on Zach Bailey since his debut. Every season, he's played 153 games, boys. That's a lot of games of footy. I didn't think he played 153.
more than me.
So this week, I'm targeting my Bombers, my beloved Bombers, the small to mid-sized forwards, to put some pressure on.
Here we go.
I see some of the taller forwards like Archimay, Lee McMahon, busting a gut, even Nate Caddy busting a gut to put some pressure on. Now it's time for the likes of Kako, Gresham, even Perkins.
Okay.
Just run like headless chooks. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you touch the ball. Just put some pressure on.
I don't mind that, you know.
There we go. I reckon that's a lock. He's done it. He's the oracle. He knows what he's talking about. So get around him. Tips and margin, lads. Leo.
Dogs by 81.
Dogs by a lot.
What's a lot?
81.
1,000.
1,000. You said 1,000 last week.
Yep, and
they
we're
lost by
close.
like 50. Yeah, no. I'm going to go Dogs by 70. This is going to be a huge one. There's another Friday night game, lads. I don't know. Again, we don't like the double Friday nights, but we're going to get into it anyway. GWS versus Sydney. We've got another Sydney derby, Battle of the Bridge, they call it over there. Friday night, 7:50 at NG Stadium. Now, lads, I'm pumped to watch two of the most informed players in the competition. We talked him up on the weekend. He got best on ground of the week, I
Joel
believe.
Hamling?
Definitely not Joel Hamling. Isaac Heaney versus Tom Green. In the last month, Heaney's averaging 26 disposals and a lazy 3 goals. You've got Tom Green averaging 30 disposals and 12 clearances in that time. What do we think, lads? Do they tag Tom Green and Bedford possibly goes to Heaney? There's a lot of tactical things that are going to go into this game.
I feel like this game is taking me back to primary school here because there's going to be a game of tag on left, right, and centre. I think Bedford does have to go to Heaney in this one, and I do think that they send maybe Jordan to Tom Green.
I think you have to. Like Tom Green will get 30 disposals and around about 20 of them will be contested and half of those will be clearances. So,
yeah, he just does it all. He does it all. And I saw a video of him talking on the ground and he was unbelievable. Great leader. Future captain, Kane Corns called him. And I actually didn't mind that. Talking about clamps and tagging, you got Dane Rampy has brought the clamps to Toby Green the last 3 meetings. In those meetings, Toby averages 14 disposals, 0 goals. It's very rare for Toby not to have a big impact on the game. And Rampy stepped up his game in the Battle of the Bridges. Same as Whitfield. Do we think Campbell will likely go to him? And then another question, bigger question. Does Cox or Kingsley win the tactical battle here? Because we've really talked up the tactics.
Yeah, I think the most likely tag that will happen is Braden Campbell going to Lockie Whitfield. Because once you stifle his impact off halfback, you feel like perhaps like Lockie Ash, he's a great player, but is he as damaging as Whitfield with ball in hand? That's a debate.
Yep.
But in terms of the tactical battle, I kind of fancy Dean Cox. He's shown it.
Really?
He's shown it previously when Sydney played against Fremantle, and they worked the tag to perfection on both Jordan Clark and Caleb Sarong. So why not? They know the tagging game well, the Sydney Swans.
Yeah.
They do, and I tend to agree, but I'm going to side with Adam Kingsley because I'm just scared his big arms are going to come find me and bash me.
That is a very good call. I think he lifts the most of the Giants. He's not even a player. He's a beast. Sydney have won the last 5 meetings. Leo asked this on Sunday, but can they keep winning? Can they make the finals? Is there any hope at all, lads, for the Swans fans out there?
A little, this is what, 0.111 or 0.001?
Negative. So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance.
There is a
but
tiny
I
chance.
think when we get into the tips, I think it'll end here.
Yeah, fair enough. If not, are they the best team to shake up the top 8 than top 4? So just say they can get a win here. They might be able to get a win against Brisbane or Geelong in the future because they've got all their players back. They're starting to play pretty well. So are they the sort of team that's going to rustle a few feathers heading into the finals?
Ruffle.
Ruffle? I don't know.
Feathers. Yeah, definitely. They've got some matchups, as you mentioned, against Geelong and Brisbane that they can really shape not just the top 8, but the top 4 as well, and some home finals that play.
They got players in that team that will also like to spoil the party on a few of the other clubs.
Absolutely. We've got Jesse Hogan and Sam Taylor, both tests for GWS. They will be really hoping they can come back in this one. We haven't got the teams just yet, but they'll be really hoping they come back. If they win here as well, the Giants, they've pretty much locked in the finals. So that helps your argument. They've had a really good last couple of months as well. The last 5 wins, 5 straight matches, they've got 5 wins, including the Lions, the Cats, and the Suns. And you've talked them up, Marcus, and saying I think people are underrating them a little bit.
Oh, you're now starting to see.
I
called this out a month and a half ago. I'm like, they're peaking at the right time. They're getting in the form. And I think you might see why on Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm still yet to be.
Oh, Friday night, sorry.
No, that's right, Friday night. Tips and margin, and then I want a Brett Kirk medal winner. Don't do Brett Kirk's speech from the Channel 7 days as well, please.
Oh, now I really want to. I'm going Giants by a singular kick.
A singular kick.
And I will go Cadman for the medal.
Cadman.
Interesting.
Bounce back.
Game-winning goal, maybe. I'm going to go GWS by 5 goals, Finn Callaghan, who will escape the tag. Well, he's not going to get tagged, but he's one of the players that won't get tagged and perhaps more influence on the game than he normally does, even though he already has an incredible amount. So Finn Callaghan wins the Brett Kirk medal.
I like that. I'm going to go Giants by 10. I'm not 100% sure if Tom Green will get tagged or not, but he's just a beast, and I reckon he could break a tag. He's had 16 clearances against the Bombers, which obviously the Bombers are down lower on the ladder, but he did it against the Suns as well, who have one of the best midfields. So I'm going to go Tom Green for the Brett Kirk medal. Saturday, Gold Coast Brisbane is the next one. Saturday at 1:20 at People's First Stadium. Leo, the Q Clash.
The Q Clash, and Brisbane dominate this clash. They've won 21 of the 28 meetings they've played. I want to start on the Suns, though. They need to respond here. They need a win because it was so good beating Collingwood. It was their best win in the club's history.
Absolutely.
And then they probably go to one of the worst losses in the club's history.
Oh, not the early days.
For what
for a
they've
while.
been delivering, like
true.
losing to Adelaide last week, where Dimmer said that was their sort of game where you get kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Sure.
He has a way with words, Dimmer.
Yeah, he's a special unit. Check out his Twitter likes. Now look, the Suns, they actually won the clearances and inside 50s in that matchup last week, which I found really
crazy.
surprising. But they still get pumped. Plus Rioli's out for 4 to 6, so they just lose that extra bit of drive off halfback. But Collins is a test to come back. Now, he's so important to them structurally.
I feel like he's been like that for 3 weeks.
A test I think I have said that a few times, and he's been a test. But hopefully this time he's actually
Pulling out there in
play.
a Geelong Gold Coast at the moment.
yeah.
With Sam
a little bit. So we know that the mids do the job for Gold Coast. We know Rowell, Anderson, we know what they deliver. But I just want to chat a bit about their consistency at either end of the ground.
Yep.
So I had a look back at the 9 times they played a top 9 side this season. They've scored over 74 of those times, which I think is okay. That's
it's all right.
It's middle of the road. I think.
Yeah.
But in those 4, they lost to GWS, and the opponents scored at least 90. So I'm looking at it going, it's either their defense that's playing really well and the forwards aren't, or vice versa.
I think it's to do with their tactics as well. When they play against the big teams, like against Adelaide the first time, I think against Geelong, a few other teams, they just go all out attack. So I don't know if maybe against the bigger teams they need to dumb it down a little bit and just play a little bit slower. But I don't know. They seem to go all out attack against the big teams, and yeah, maybe that's not the right way to go.
To actually go on the contrary of that point, Stats Guy.
Okay.
In 3 of those 9 games, they failed to score 50 points.
There you go. That helps. Yeah,
So
that helps out.
either end of the ground, I'm just going to ask you boys, do you think Gold Coast have enough depth to sustain these sort of big wins against these best sides?
I think they are. You've shown with Collins out that they are probably a good key defender short.
Ballard being injured for the season
Ballard
as well.
is, yeah,
exactly.
He hasn't played a game this year.
Say everyone's fully fit. I think why not? At either end of the ground, I think they do have enough when everyone's fully fit. But obviously it's footy, and injuries are going to happen. But I think it's just a case of a lot of the forward line. You look at Ben King, you look at Ben Long as well in particular, falling out of form at the wrong time of the season.
Yeah, and with those 2 guys, they're the main guys for them. And
Outside of that,
Walter and Reed are going to be great players, but they're young. They're going to have their games off, and that's allow that for them.
Yep.
So I think I question their forward line depth more than their defensive depth. What do you think, Stats?
Yeah, just get Charlie Kerner. Just get Charlie Kerner over there. Why not?
Charlie Kerner for Jed Walter. Who says no.
I agree with that though. In terms of the forward line, because when Ben King isn't having a big game, they struggle to kick goals. And Ben Long, but outside of that, yeah, you can't trust them just yet. Maybe in a few years they'll be all right. But yeah, I'm a bit worried about their depth for sure.
And then on Brisbane, they're in great form. They've won their last 4 games. And I want to chat about sort of an underrated cog of their midfield, and that's Josh Dunkley.
Absolutely.
In those 3 of those last 4, he's reached at least 28 touches and 10 tackles. Ooh. So he's been super important defensively, and he allows those, McCluggage, Neil, the Ashcrofts, Rayner, these guys to play a bit more aggressively and a bit more with freedom, right? So I think he's been really, really important to them. But I want to challenge Brisbane here. I know they're sitting second. I know they're sitting pretty. They're probably going to make a prelim and potentially a grand final. But be more ruthless. What is this 3-7 crap against the Dogs in the 3rd quarter?
That was great.
3 goals, 7. Kick 7 goals, 3. And it's not just that game. We've seen games where they've been ruthless, but then we see games that they're not. And if that inconsistency stays up, I just think that might be their Achilles heel in finals. What do you boys think?
I think it could be, yeah. We looked at sides, then playing to the opposition's level are sort of a little bit at the moment. Like obviously they've had the hardest end to the fixture of the season according to the
Fox
stats,
Footy, yeah.
according to Fox Footy.
Yep.
And they've won four on the trot. So I think as long as they're winning, they're not winning well at the moment, but they still got time to figure that out. And obviously they're playing a lot of those big teams towards the end of the season where they can really show their ruthlessness.
Yeah, they did this a lot last year as well. And then when it came to finals, they sort of kicked into gear a bit more and then flexed their muscles. So I reckon they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Fair. Who you tipping?
Gotta go Lions. I'm gonna go Lions by I'll say 2 goals. And then we want a Will Ashcroft medal as well. I'm gonna go Cam
Will
Rayner.
Ashcroft medal.
Oh, sorry, Marcus.
Yeah, he's
Ashcroft.
gone.
Will Ashcroft. Maybe he'll win it. Maybe he'll win his dad's medal. Marcus Ashcroft medal, of course. No, I'm gonna go Cam Rayner. I think he's been an underrated form. He can kick a couple of goals, get 25 touches. He's a beast.
You can go Dunkley. Why not?
Dunkley, yeah.
Talked him up. Back him in.
He won a medal the other week as well.
Don't know. I'm going to go to the Lions by a couple goals. And you know what? It's going to be Daddy's favourite. Well, it almost feels illegal not to give the Ashcroft medal to an
Pink
Ashcroft.
Panthers.
So
There we go.
I'm going Will or Levi. I'm going Will.
Will. Yeah, he was great last week as well. Very
Will
nice.
he do it?
Will he do it? All right. The dad joke's already out. Hey, Leo, quick question. Do you know what the ASX means?
Do you mean AFLX?
No, mate. The ASX, the Australian Stock Exchange.
Oh, man. I'm absolutely clueless with that stuff.
Well, lucky for you, Stockhead is a free website that gives you everything you need to know about punting stocks on the ASX.
Damn, that sounds pretty good. Where do I check them out?
Check it out via stockhead.com.au, and it's even easy for your little pea brain to understand.
Damn.
Fremantle West Coast is the next one. Saturday, 4:15 at Optus Stadium. Lads, is it a Western Derby or a Derby? They call it Derby, but we call it Derby.
I think Derby.
Yeah, Derby.
Yeah.
They say Derby, so maybe I'll be
And
respectful
it's
to them.
Palmer.
Palmer, yes. I don't know what they call it in WA. Yeah,
Let us
yeah.
know in the comments if you're from WA and what you call it.
Oh, yeah, what you call Palmer or Palmy? Why not? Freo have won 4 of the last 5 derbies by an average of 50 points. They've been dominant in this one. The Dockers, though, we didn't really touch on this on the weekend, had an awesome win over the Pies. But they're 6-2 against top 8 sides, lads. The
got the
Dogs
best
are looking
record.
up. They've got the best record against top 8 sides. The Dogs are looking up there. How do you do it, Freo? How do you do it? Because they're the opposite, obviously. And they've also won 8 of their last 9 games, bar a respectable loss to the Swans at the SCG. So they're in incredible form. I feel like we haven't talked them up. And I know we talked them up on Sunday, but that's unbelievable.
Yeah, we haven't. We talked up their game, but we didn't talk up their form.
Their form is unbelievable.
Purple haze, it's a drug.
It is. It is. It's absolutely
And
awesome.
it's wafted over this studio.
It has. Maybe we
Oh,
need
wait, no, Marcus
That's
just
Leo's
farted.
farts. Yeah.
that shows how they think on the couch. Lads, I want to talk about this. We've mentioned this every couple of weeks, but the 2 rucks, it really worked against the Pies. We've been critical. Should Sean Darcy be in the side because he was out of form? But it's really helped Luke Jackson kick a couple of goals, go forward as well. So it really worked against the Pies. They're coming up against West Coast, who are the bottom 2 in hitouts and clearances, bottom 4 for contested marks. Darcy and Jackson, do we think they're just going to go absolutely haywire?
What if it goes the other way and West Coast beat them at ground and then they're too slow?
Yeah, but then you know who's at the ground? Sarong and Brayshaw.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've got an argument for West
It's
Coast.
like, it's like when you get 2 professional footballers to play against 100 kids. And Darcy and Jackson are just going to be taking contested mark.
You've just called Matt Flynn a kid.
Matt Flynn's pretty big.
He is pretty big, but in terms of the contested mark stats that
Yeah.
status just read out.
Yes, it's a bit of a worry for West Coast. What isn't a worry? He's playing with a bit of freedom. Maybe he's about to sign a new contract. There's rumours of Harley Reid signing a new contract. That, especially after getting smashed by Richmond, the one thing the Eagles fans want to hear is the pen to paper from Harley Reid. He continues to live for the Eagles. He's averaging 26 disposals, 6 tackles, 6 clearances, and a goal across the last month. He's been absolutely awesome. He cops a lot of flack, Harley Reid, but he is building to a great player.
I'd play with a lot of freedom too if I was about to get $20 million or whatever it was.
Was it that much?
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a lot of money.
Oh my
I think it was,
God.
20,
Does
21?
he probably deserves to be one of the highest paid in the future, right?
Well, not now.
Not yet, obviously, but like for the future.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the percentage, I wanted to touch on that. Freo's percentage went down last game, even though they won by a point. My brain can't comprehend how that works, but that's a different
Because you
story.
got to even it out at 100, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I see. I don't even know how that stuff works. Even after a win, they went down, and they've also got the worst percentage in the top 9. So is this that game they can build that percentage and then make a better case for finals?
Yeah, I think they've got to. This has to be a one that they just smoke them. Because if they get that percentage to the mid 110s, then teams like Hawthorn, GWS will start to get a little bit shaky if they're not already.
A little bit where?
Agreed.
Yeah, very nice. All right, let's get into the tips and the medal. We've got the Glendenning Allen medal. Caleb Sarong actually has the equal most medals with Paul Hazelby, which surprised me, with 4. Do we think, is anyone going to tip
Which
him?
is why I think he's going to break it.
Oh,
he's
he's
going to
gonna-
get 5 best ons in the Western Derby.
Derby.
And I'm going to tip Fremantle for a big win here. Get that percentage booster, 67 points.
67.
Oh, jeez. Leo?
Freo, the way to go, 43 points. And I wanted Sarong, but you took him, so I'm going to say Brayshaw.
Oh, look, that's a pretty handy
Does
pick.
he wear his brother's helmet again?
I think he will because he's still recovering, isn't he? Yeah.
Is Maynard playing?
His
That's-
main
Is
up
Andrew
play.
Gaff playing? He's not going to punch him in the face.
Oh, too soon.
Too soon. That was ages ago. I'm going to go Freo by 50 points. I think this will be a smashing. And I'm going to go Jordan Clark for the medal because I don't know, that's a bit of a rogue shout. But I think West Coast poor on the counter-attacks. He can use his speed and they just bomb it a lot of time inside 50. He can take some intercept marks and get a really, really good stat line there. Next one, Saturday night. Oh, talking about big percentage boosters. North Melbourne versus Geelong, Saturday night, 7:30 at Marvel Stadium. Marcus.
Yeah, well, we've called on. You had the debate with Richmond and North Melbourne, who's in the better spot of the rebuild, which is why I'm sort of swearing that we need to see something a little bit more from North. Obviously, they had that good month in June, and obviously they lost to Hawthorn right in the final days of June. But now it's become a bit of a dry July, as you said.
Yeah, it has been a dry
Out of
July.
this-
Not much to cheer. Not much to cheer.
Out of the studio, and well, I feel like he's been drinking more while watching North Melbourne, whereas they're in a bit
Oh,
of a
Staying
they
hydrated.
didn't need to know that.
Staying
They didn't need to know that.
But since round 2, their highest score is 89. They failed to score 100 since round 2, and they've averaged 100 points conceded per game so far this season, North Melbourne. So there's that debate, are they really getting better? But perhaps it's a little bit of structure in recent weeks that has gone amiss. But George Wardlaw,
Yep.
and Almac, Luke McDonald, possibly set to return, the both of them. How does that change North Melbourne's structure?
Yeah, I don't know if it changes the structure too much. I think in terms of the pressure, Wardlow will lift the pressure. He's just a maniac. Like he could have 12 touches and get more tackles than touches sometimes. He's had 5 games this season of 6+ tackles. I can't remember the last time that someone in the last month has laid 6+ tackles in our team. Just a lot of, I think Leo talked about it a few weeks ago, just a lot of missed tackles from North. So in terms of the structure, I'm not too much, maybe in the centre bounces it'll be a bit better because he can add the tackling pressure. But yeah, the structure against Geelong, they're going to be too good.
Well, history doesn't suggest that anything will change. Geelong
No.
will still be picking on that kid in the playground, and that kid is North Melbourne because Geelong have won the last 13 meetings.
13!
With an average winning margin of 44.5 points from 13 meetings. And to make things even worse, the last 5 meetings have had an average losing margin of 69.8 points, which is even greater.
Oh, my God.
And look,
Even I'm wincing over
Yeah,
here.
no, you didn't even go for North.
are Geelong on track for a big, big win here?
Oh, I think definitely. I
You
just
think
think
so?
yeah, they won the last 13.
I'm just saying there is a saving grace for North Melbourne.
Here we
Okay, here we
and
go.
that is Marvel Stadium.
Oh yeah,
I know
it's
some
a
of the-
fortress.
yeah.
It's an absolute
I know
fortress.
some of those wins have been at Marvel Stadium, but Geelong, they've only played at Marvel Stadium once so far this season, which is kind of like hard to believe that they've only played there once. And that one game was a loss against St Kilda.
Oh, so North are home.
So are they not as confident at Marvel? Does something go amiss?
Even as a North fan, I think it's going to be closer, obviously, at Marvel than the Cattery or the G or whatever else we would play. But the Cats bogey team at Marvel is the Saints.
yes.
So I would be throwing that. They've won the last 3 there, I think, against them. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one.
and the Cats.
I was just going to say the damning numbers that they've won 13 in a row. Like, I don't
Wait,
care.
records are meant to
They
be broken.
could bloody lose to Williamstown at Marvel. Like, I don't care.
North Melbourne are due then, that's what you're trying to say. But I do think the Cats should dominate. And if they are to dominate and kick a massive score, then you'd think Jezza, the Coleman medalist, should play a big part in that. And could he crack the ton? I'm saying including finals.
I was going to say not
including finals. What is he at now?
So he's on
He's at
58.
58.
So
58.
5 games left. And then let's say they play every final. So they lose. They
They
play
get in the
as-
granny.
So that's 9 games. So he needs 42 goals in 9 games. If he kicks 12 here.
Playing
Essendon.
against Essendon. I think they play against West Coast.
Oh, I want him to do it. Imagine they run onto the ground. He kicks the winner on grand final day. They run onto the ground because it's his 100th goal.
I don't think 100 goals, including finals, is worthy of a run on the ground.
They just won the grand final.
If you know what, run on the ground in the grand final.
If you kick a goal, if you kick a winning goal after the siren in the grand final,
the 100th.
do you run on the ground? Just in general.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, would you be a bit hesitant? Like, was anyone else?
Sorry,
gonna run?
AFL, if we're spurring anything on you.
No, there we go. There we go. All right, tips and margin. I know which way we're going to go. I'm going to go North now. I'm going to go Geelong by 55.
Cats north of 48 points.
Oof, I'm going to
More than
go
48 points.
North, keep it somewhat respectable. 5 goals.
5 goals.
5 goals.
Really?
Ooh.
I don't know
It's a
about
win for North.
That is a win. That is a win and a half.
Oh, pathetic fan.
The next
Bazball.
one, oh, yeah, definitely not. Talking about the rivalry round, this is my favourite rivalry in the AFL. Adelaide versus Port Adelaide, Saturday night, 8:10 at the Adelaide Oval. I love this matchup, as always, Leo.
This is going to be an absolute blockbuster. It's my favourite game this round. The last time these sides played, we talked a lot about form going out the window and whether form actually matters. And I don't think it does, because last time they played, Adelaide were 5th, Port were 12th. Adelaide did win by 5 points, but Port dominated territory. 21 more inside 50s, were pushing really hard late for a comeback victory. And it was led by Rosie, who's a test to come back this week. But Rosie obviously won the medal in the losing side, which I know Stats Guy is a fan of.
You shouldn't be able to win any medal if you lose.
Well, if you play outrageously,
Unless you're in the
can.
Olympics, like you get the silver. That's about it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you get the gold if you lose.
Yeah.
But Port just didn't have an answer for the Crows forward line. So the goal kickers in that game, Thriller and Fogg kicked 3. You have Rankin, Rochelle and Keys kick 2, and Neil Bullen kick 1.
Oh, that's
So
perfect.
that's your
Perfect.
starting 6 forward line bar Tex, right?
Yep.
So there's big roles here for Zerk Thatcher, for Alir, for Jones, the whole Port Adelaide backline to plug every leak. If you stop this dude, another one will pop up. If you stop him, another one will pop up. They got to plug every leak, and it's going to be tough to do. Now, Adelaide, they have so many scoring options. I feel like their midfield depth is just so deep. Like, that gets not really talked about enough.
Soligo and likes of those type of players we haven't talked about enough, probably, yeah.
Their back line is so well structured. Plus, they've won their last 7 at Adelaide Oval. And I feel like Stats Guy, you just keep underrating him. It's the Crom!
No, I rate them during the season. I love the Crom. I probably have underrated them in the power rankings. Check that out on AFL Today AU every Monday morning. I have underrated them in terms of the grand final and finals of that, but I'm not underrating them for the season. I think they could win almost every game for the rest of the regular season. When it comes to finals, they're just not they're not that experienced. There's a lot of other teams around them, like the Pies, like Brisbane. Even the Hawks have had some finals experience last year. I just can't trust them in the finals. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think they could go out in straight sets?
Who would they most likely play in the first round?
Collingwood, Brisbane, or Geelong?
They will lose to all 3 of those teams.
Even if it's at home?
Yep. I would be back in the other team.
And then do you think the straight sets? Beat
Depends.
bold.
All right, they'll
Make
go
a
out.
call.
I actually do think it. I just love our Adelaide fan base. There's a lot of
thinks
Adelaide.
it.
I think they could go out in straight sets. Possibly.
But don't hurt him.
I don't think. Mate, the way you started through that, I don't think you believe it.
No,
at
I believe it.
all.
I'm just nervous because the Crom fans are going to come for me.
Bring
I
the
think-
pitchforks.
I think Adelaide fans in the comments should let us know where they think are going to finish. And I also think they should send some hate towards you, Stats Guy.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the Crom are making the grand final.
Oh, I don't know about making the grand final.
A
They could-
prelim at least.
Maybe. Yeah.
We'll
Anyway.
see.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, this is my game.
Yeah.
We're going to cover it.
Keep going, mate.
I got lost in that.
Keep going.
Now, look, Stats Guy, we'll give you some plaudits because you mentioned Ken Hinkley on the review show.
I loved him, yeah.
You're talking about how he's just vibing. He's there to have a laugh. He's putting stuff in his teeth. He's laughing at Ginnivan. He's just having a good time. But this is his last showdown ever, and it's emotional for me.
It's the best rivalry in the game.
Best rivalry in the game, and this is Ken's last one. Do you reckon he actually locks in on this one and switches on and just actually coaches? I feel that's rude to say, but what do we think? Does he lift him up?
No.
Oh,
He's
he's
AI.
he's AI.
We spoke about him being AI.
He's a strange-
on the
Yeah, but
Sunday
they
show.
might unplug him and then
Oh,
let
they
him
might change
actually
the
get to
settings.
work.
Actually, yeah.
Change his settings.
Why not? He want to go off in style, in good fashion. I think the players would want to
Yeah,
send him
he's
off as
gonna
well
pump him
too.
up.
So why not?
Yeah, I think this
A bit
is.
more emotion. No lollies. No lollies in the mouth this time.
If I'm feeling emotional, how are Port Adelaide feeling right now? They're gonna. they
You're
could be-
emotional.
They could. Oh, it's sad. It's Kenny's last showdown. They're going to be walking
Okay.
out to the ground and they're going to be crying as Never Tear Us Apart plays.
Yeah, true.
Because Kenny's leaving them. And
'Cause Kenny is tearing them apart.
he tore them apart when he left.
Oh,
That's really
he's
sad.
he's a good actor.
We'll go for a bit of a weather report on this one.
Jane Bunn over here.
Jane Bunn
With
over
a beard.
here, the conditions in this one. So the day before, we're expecting 15 to 30 mils of rain.
I think some of those just went on your shirt as well.
From he was having a cry. That's true. That's
Yeah, I was crying, not spitting. And on the day, 4 to 20 mils of rain. So who do we think the conditions can suit here? And does that play into who wins the showdown medal?
I think I think it definitely favours Port Adelaide.
Really?
Well, yeah, but they got the less tall forwards. You got the three-pronged tall forwards, and you talked about in your analysis there that could be an issue. But if it's wet, hopefully that will play less of a factor for the likes of Alira, Zerk Thatcher, and Lockie Jones.
Yep, fair enough.
And it should make the game closer as well. I know that the showdowns are always close, but if you're worried about Adelaide having a big blowout game against them, if it rains, I reckon it could make it a bit tighter.
So both teams have players for the scrap, though. You're thinking about it. You got Ollie Wines, Butters,
even Boak's
Rosé,
pretty good in the wet. Yeah.
Boak as well, yeah. And then you got the likes of Soligo, Peatling, Rankin on the other side.
There we go. So Leo mentioned it. Who's going to win the showdown medal and who's going to win the showdown, lads?
I think Rankin wins the medal. I just think he's class in no matter what the conditions are, and Crom by 2 goals.
2 goals. Marcus?
I'm going to go a little bit more on the side of Crom. I'm going to go Crom by 4 goals, and I'm going to go. I was tossed between Jake Soligo and Ben Keys for the medal, but I'm going to go with Ben Keys because I think he deserves an All-Australian jacket.
Ooh, All-Australian jacket, yeah. I don't mind that. I'm going to go Jordan Dawson for the showdown medal. He averages 7 tackles, 11 contested possessions. I think he can up that in the wet weather, and he's just suited to any conditions. He's that good. And then I'm going to go the Crom by 15 points. I think it's going to be another thriller. And then, thriller might kick a little match winner at the end. There we go.
Ooh, don't mind that.
There we go. Richmond Collingwood is on Sunday, 2:10 at the MCG. Marcus, your one.
Yeah, well, these are 2 heavyweights of the competition, and who thought heading into this game, Richmond, would have back-to-back wins, whilst Collingwood will have back-to-back losses.
That is actually crazy.
That sounds weird.
Look, I know the wins for Richmond were against Essendon and West Coast, and the losses for Collingwood were against Gold Coast and Fremantle, but just thinking of that stat line heading into this game, that form trend, but is there any reason to be concerned about the Pies? Like, they need form for finals. Perhaps did they peak a little bit too early at the start of the season?
2.0.
Possibly, or is this just a little blip in the road?
I think it's just a blip,
it's
surely.
Fine.
What is the cutoff though? I'm curious. What's the cutoff in this game where even if they win, we go, okay, no, we're concerned. Is it 2 goals? Is it they have to win more?
Oh, they
win by 3 goals. Is it like, okay, maybe we are concerned?
They only just got over West Coast. So I think if they win by even if it's 30, that's still a pass for me. I don't know about you guys.
Okay, yeah, I think just get a win on the board. That's the aim for Collingwood. They just got to see it. Yeah, get those 4 points on the board, especially when you got the teams like Adelaide and Brisbane breathing down your neck for the minor premiership. But if you're Craig McRae, do you continue at looking resting players here? Possibly the likes of Nick Dacos. I know he's fighting for possibly the Brownlow. He's the favourite. But to go, he might be back. And we had the news of Bo McCreary today. He's just done his hammy at training.
He's bad, right? I think he's had 3 injuries this year.
He just can't catch a break.
No.
Especially for someone who just runs like a headless chook.
He brings a lot of pressure.
Yeah, soft tissue injury isn't so ideal. So do you rest players here for Collingwood?
What do you think?
I don't think you should rest Nick Dacos in particular. I just think he's young, he's fit, he can show that he can back it up week and week, and you've got a pre-finals bye that you can look at resting him. Yes. So I think you play him through.
No, I agree.
That's very true. But I wanted to highlight for a Richmond point of view, because they have played well. They've got those 2 wins. So let's highlight their strength so far over those 2 games, and it was their defensive strength. Forget about... obviously that comes with the pressure and the tackling that we all saw and highlighted with Morris Riola's chase down.
Like the Richmond of old a bit, the tackle pressure.
A little bit. Yeah. But they've only conceded a combined 93 points across those 2 wins. Mm-hmm. And the previous 3 matches, they conceded a combined 381 points.
That's great.
So I just wanted to highlight possibly the likes of Ben Miller and such in that defence.
Tyler Young's come in and played well as well.
Yep. Exactly well. Although it doesn't look great for them on an 8-day break. Normally you think, you know what, a little bit of extra rest, play a bit better, a little bit fresher, go and have a crack, but they're actually 0-10.
0-10
on an 8-day break.
That is a wild stat.
They just want to play football.
Yeah. Let's play every 3 days. Let's play every 3 days, Richmond.
That'll probably lead into why I think the Pies will get this done comfortably around the 40 to 50 point mark.
Yeah.
I think we're all around that.
I think we're all around that, yep.
Yeah, 45 I'm going to say. Yeah, pretty similar. Last game of the round, let's get into it. Sunday, 3:15 at Marvel Stadium is St Kilda versus Melbourne. Simple one. If you're talking about the Saints, you got to talk about the main man, one of the best players in the competition, Nazaya Wanganeen-Milera. We talked about it on Sunday. He has to stay in the midfield. If Ross does not play him in the midfield, maybe because they're back at Marvel, he's like, I got to put him halfback. If Edie's not in the midfield, I don't know what he's doing. He dominated against the Cats, who obviously have a star midfield of Bailey Smith, Max Holmes, and now he faces the 5th worst clearance team in the competition. He's just got to stay in there, lads, surely.
He's got to, and you say you got to talk, when we talk about the Saints, we talk about Nas. When we talk about the D's, you talk about Cozzy.
Absolutely. Good little segue there. This would be really, really fun to watch Cozzy versus Nas in the middle, both career best disposals and clearances this season. Now, lads, will Ross Lyon, Simon Goodwin, will they let this matchup flourish, or are they just going to shut it down? Just shut it down as they like to do.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm just trying to put it in the airways for them to do it.
Here's what they should have done. They should be catching up as we speak right now to go, look, we're looking at this game. It's 14th versus 15th.
Here we go.
It is the worst game potentially this season.
That's a bit
It is an ugly game.
That's harsh.
Should we just say, all right, gentlemen's bet, we put Nas on Cozzy and we get a Dangerfield 5 thing going, and it actually makes some interest in this game. You could even broadcast it. Put it on the socials, be like,
everyone would go.
We're putting Wanganeen-Milera on Cozzy and vice versa, and let's just see how they go.
They'll get more people there.
They would, but I don't think they'll do it.
I don't think it's going to happen. Outside of those players, Petrarca. That was pretty good, though. Petrarca also averages 23 disposals, 2.6 goals across his last 3 meetings with the Saints. That last time they played, this is a weird one that the Saints won. The D's kicked 7 goals, 21, and the only one that was really efficient was Petrarca in that last one as well. So I'm a little bit worried about the D's in that perspective. The Demons, they've lost 6 of their last 7. The Saints have lost the last 6, and that last win that they did get was against the D's. Talking about the D's kicking 7 goals, 21 in that last meeting, the Demons are the 2nd worst shots in front of goal in the competition. And the rumours, they're going after Joe Danaher, who is not a very good shot in front of goal.
So what, they want to make it even worse?
They want to make it even worse, but what do we think? Joe Danaher would help this side a lot, but is there any chance they're going to get him?
Mate, there's more of a chance I'd play for Melbourne than Joe Danaher.
I think
no way.
He loves a secluded life, Joe Danaher, and I doubt he's even heard the news.
Yeah,
That's a good
he might not
point.
even have a phone because he doesn't have a TV. I remember, fun fact, that Camerano used to. That is wild. The Saints as well, they've had a weirdly tough season. We've talked to some Saints fans. Bit unlucky facing 12 games across the top 9, against the top 9 this season, and only 6 games against the bottom 9. So obviously the fixtures have changed and a few different teams have pushed up into finals, but that's a bit unlucky. Now, lads, I'm going to lean towards the Saints in this one for these reasons. They're losing margins against the Dockers, Freo and Hawks. That's across the last month. We're only 12 points. There's some really good sides. They kept up with them. They were even pretty solid against the Cats last week. And they're back in the candy stripes. I reckon this is one of the best kits in the competition. They wore it at Gather Round, I believe, last year. So I'm going to go the Saints by a measly 2 goals. Leo's very torn here, so I'll go to
I'm going to be an absolute nail biter. It's going to be within a kick, and Willy Wonka will be proud.
Willy Wonka.
The candy stripes.
Nice.
That was a weird call.
I really don't know who to tip.
Draw. Go draw.
I'll go Saints.
Saints?
I don't know. This is an ugly game.
Why don't you go D so you're different?
No, Saints.
Oh, he's going. You don't mind the Saints. That is going to be a really tough game, and we'll be watching that. That's the last game. All right, let's get into the lock of the week and the big calls. I stuffed up the lock last week, so I'll start it here. Jezza will kick 2+. That is a lock against North Melbourne.
What if the Pink Pony Club locks him up?
Nah, that's not happening.
For being too good.
Yeah. No, but Pink Pony Club lifts at the G. He's better at the G. What's your lock, Leo?
My lock, Dogs win. Nothing more said.
Against
They'll
the
beat
Bombers.
the Bombers.
Okay.
Yeah, and in that game, I'm going to go Sam Darcy 2+ goals.
Ooh, yeah, that's a lock for sure. Big calls. Marcus got one last week. I'll start with you. You're the man of the moment in the big calls.
I'm sticking to the same theme as my lock. I'm going to go Sam Darcy plus Aaron Norton to beat the Bombers. They're going to outscore. Off their own boot, they're going to outscore Essendon.
I think that will definitely happen if I'm being honest.
Do you reckon definitely? I don't know.
I'm going a bit obscure and abstract because I am a little bit different, as my mum likes to say. Rankin kicks goal of the year contender in the showdown.
That is a big call.
It'll be on the highlights.
Actually, hold on. I'm just closing my eyes. Can you paint me a picture of how it's going to happen?
Yes, there we go.
I'll paint
We
you
haven't
a
painted a
picture.
picture in a while.
In 20... 13, the Bombers were found guilty of drugs.
Okay, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare.
How did he think of that? That was actually good.
Is it 2013?
Yeah, I don't know. Go, paint him a picture.
2012 season.
That is hilarious. That's really good. Liam.
Wait, what did you say, sorry?
I actually wanted to see, how do you think he's going to kick? It's going to be from the Eddie pocket?
I reckon it might be, you remember Cyril in Tassie where he just like kicked it out of the air?
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to be like that, but a bit closer to the boundary.
If you predict how he kicks the goal of the year,
That's a social clip.
That
right
is
there.
unbelievable. We'll see how we go. Lads, I'm going for a fairy tale finish here in the big calls. Sam Docherty, obviously, we talked about him. He's going to retire after this game. I'm going for him to finish the career strong. 25 plus disposals, 1 plus goal. He had this stat line in his return game against the Tigers in 2023. He had exactly 25 and a goal. I think he's going to do the same again. Kicked a goal last week. The boys are going to be feeding him. The Carlton boys are going to be, Doc, here we go. If they're down by a bit, especially playing the Hawk, I reckon they're just going to feed him.
Yep.
He'll play forward towards the end of the game for sure. I reckon he'll start off the half-forward flank and just kick a goal.
Will the Hawks let him kick a goal?
Yeah, why not?
If you're in front by...
You're not, mate.
I reckon even if we're down by a goal,
What if you miss out on
with a
finals?
minute left,
What
it's
if you-
Sam Docherty.
What if you miss out on finals for percentage?
That'll be
because
fun.
of that
Nah,
goal.
I understand the occasion.
Understand the account?
They should put him one out.
I think you're ruthless. I think
Put-
you don't
put-
give that man the football.
I agree.
Put Docherty on Sicily and see what happens.
There might be a bit of biff.
Nah, Docherty won't get into Biff.
Yeah, true. Bet Sicily will. Sicily will. Anyway, that will do us for the AFL Today Show. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. Subscribe, star, and like all of our shows on your podcast apps. That's Cricket Today, AFLW Today, Hold All Tickets, True Bloods, Honest Beers, and Footy Form Guide. Thank you very much to Brody behind the camera. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Makosa.
Thank you, Status.
And of course, producer Gerald behind the camera as well. We'll see you then on Sunday to wrap up all things round 20. We'll catch you then on AFL Today.